Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Double Play. I'm Ryan. This is Jack. Today, we're going to be doing our Royals season preview. We're going to start with recapping their 2022 offseason and then look forward to what 2023 has in store for them. Jack, let's go ahead and get right into this. What did they do?
All right. Only one subtraction. We'll start there. That was Adalberto Mondesi. I believe that's how they got Josh Taylor, who was a pretty good reliever for Boston last year, but that was a flip-flop trade. The rest of it, they have some interesting additions and keeps. You keep Zach Greinke, you're adding Aroldis Chapman, who would have ever thought a couple years ago he'd end up on the Royals. Franmil Reyes, Jordan Lyles, and Ryan Yarbrough. So they add some pieces. They're only losing one guy in Mondesi, who has all the potential in the world as a super fast, ton of power shortstop, but has not played very much baseball over the last couple of seasons. Ryan, who do you think is the biggest addition or subtraction?
I'm going to go Jordan Lyles and Ryan Yarbrough, and I know you're going to say the same there, but I don't think they make a crazy difference. They're both signed through 2024, and if I'm projecting their rebuild, I think 2025 is their kind of when they start to be a playoff team. And so I don't think any of their moves in general, not just those two guys, move the needle so much, but it's also, when you're looking at a rebuilding team, that's not what you're looking for. You're not looking for guys that are going to accelerate your rebuild. We've kind of talked about some teams that maybe jump the gun on that too fast. You look at a Rockies with Chris Bryant or a Tigers with Javi Baez. Sometimes that won't work out for you. So good on them for patience, but I don't think there was too many crazy things here. And I mean, maybe it was designed that way. Maybe they realized that their window's now for a couple of years, and you look at these guys, if they perform well for you, you'll re-sign them. And guys that kind of, those two guys aren't going to be top 10 starting pitchers or anything. They're not going to sign for big money when they're up for free agency. So maybe you like the production they do for you, and you sign them for that middle of that rotation once you're kind of in your window. So I like that they get them now and kind of see what happens, and they're gonna be solid for you this year.
Yeah, no, I had them as well, and I know you saw that on our doc, and I wrote, their starting pitching moves I like because I think they're both solid guys who are going to fill out either the middle of the rotation for many guys. Maybe they're closer to the top because it is the Royals, but I think building stability is not, you can't complain as a rebuilding team, and you might be only be getting average starting pitchers, but for a team like the Royals, that's not a bad thing, and you have a lot of young hitters who have a lot of potential, but are going to be volatile this season. We mentioned MJ Melendez, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, all guys we like, but they're also young, and you don't know what you're going to get from them. So you got to play 162 games, and filling out rotation with two different stable pieces. And again, not saying they're all-stars or anything like that, but that's a good move for the Royals. And given the circumstances of where this team finished last year, which was bottom of the AL Central, I do like those moves, and we compare them with teams that we've already reviewed for the AL Central, like the Tigers, who didn't add a whole lot. It's a step in the right direction for the Royals, so I'm a fan, and I'm liking the Royals this year. We'll get into that a little bit later, but if you had to give this offseason a grade, what would you go with?
For me, this one's tough because I don't want to sign like a C+, but I also don't want to give a B-. I feel like you throw in that B in front of it, it might be too good, and C's too bad, so I'll go with a B-. I'll lean on the side that they got a little bit more better than they did bad. Obviously, you mentioned they only lose Mondesi. So I think you get better, but it's a low-end B- for me.
I'm going with a C+, and I'm fine if you want to bring yours back down to a C+. And the reason that I didn't give him a B-, even though I wanted to, is just based on the other teams I gave C or B- to. I gave my Giants a B-, and I thought I was being maybe harsh on the Giants, but the Royals offseason wasn't as good as the Giants, where they added Haniger and Conforto and Taylor Rogers. So I'm trying to think. I was looking through other people I may have also given C- to, or other teams I gave C+ to. I gave the Angels a C+, and I liked some of the moves they made, bringing in Hunter Renfroe and a couple of other guys. So I couldn't put the Royals at the same level as the Giants or above the Angels, so I stuck with a C+. And if I was going in a vacuum, maybe I'd go B- because the Royals have been the Royals in past years, but I still liked the offseason. I just kind of wrote, my note was not bad Royals. I like seeing this, and so maybe it's a C+, but it's a step in the right direction, and maybe they start to parlay that into more success and more moves in the next couple of off seasons. But if you want to bring yours back down to a C+, I wouldn't blame you. I know it looks weird starting with a C, but relative to other teams, I had to keep them in that same range.
I'll just Stick with a B minus.
Feeling generous today.
Yeah,
Not for the Twins, but
in a good mood. Yeah, but no, not to the Twins. But what I'm expecting for them this year is I'm expecting progress in their rebuild and moving closer to that 2025 window that I mentioned earlier, kind of assigned to them. I think that's where they're going to find it, and they're going to find production from the pieces that they kind of start to see. Okay, this is our future. Bobby Witt struggled a little bit last year, picked it up towards the end of the season. Vinny P is a guy we like, and Brady Singer as well is a guy a lot of people actually like. So I feel like those guys with MJ Melendez, who I drafted in fantasy, those guys, I think you start to find production in those pieces, and you start to see, okay, this is where we're going. These guys, once they mature, these are going to be the leaders of our team and contribute to when we're ready to play playoff baseball.
I'm kind of along that same line, but I'm saying I think they're going to have some of the best young play in the league among any team. And I think you see some teams where they have a team that's kind of filled with prospects, but those guys are all playing well at a young age. And yeah, I think you look at the Braves last year where they had Spencer Strider and Michael Harris, and both of them were just balling. And I'm not saying the Royals are going to be the Braves, but some of these young guys, I mean, there's not many prospects or young players that we personally like more than Bobby Witt and Vinny Pasquantino. And you had MJ Melendez, who was great last year, especially when he didn't have to play catcher. Brady Singer, as you mentioned, he's only 26. He's going to be one of, if not the best starters for the USA team in the World Baseball Classic, which we're flying out tomorrow to go see them play in Arizona. I really like this young core of Royals players, and we've talked about a lot of teams so far this offseason who have potential, and we say, maybe in the future, when you talk about the Orioles or some of these other teams, there's not many young cores I like more than this Royals one. Bobby Witt, I think, is going to be fantastic this year. I drafted Vinny Pasquantino in fantasy baseball because we think he's maybe already one of the best first basemen in baseball and definitely can cement himself as one this year. So I really like this Royals young core, and I'm kind of saying that they're going to have some of the best play out of youngsters in all of baseball.
And I'll stick with one of those youngsters for my bold prediction. I'm going to go Brady Singer. I think he does get a little bit of a breakout year. Fangraphs has him projected at 3.9 ERA. I'm going to say he's under a 3.5 ERA, and he kind of cements himself as looks like their future number one for years to come. And kind of, like I said, with the what to expect, he's him and the other guys that we've been talking about this whole time are going to be their future. And I think you see that from Brady Singer this year, and you see the potential in him.
Yeah, this is gonna be weird, and it's gonna take some explanation. And it's not. I would say don't take it as seriously as it sounds, but I think that the Royals are going to be this year's Orioles. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to be in the playoff picture for the entire season, kind of like the Orioles were. I think it's going to be a toned-down version, but I think they're going to have a lot of the same characteristics, where I think that they're going to be pesky, especially against some of the teams in their division, like the Twins and the Guardians and the White Sox, who may be fighting for that one spot. I think they're going to get it as a kind of some rough and tumble series with the Royals. I think they're going to be a team that goes on some win streaks, and you can have some streaky play. You're going to have big young performances like the Orioles got last season from Adley Rutschman and some other players. And I think when you look at the Orioles, or the Orioles last year, we were like, how is this pitching rotation pitching as well as it is? And I think you could see that from the Royals this year as well, where it does seem like kind of a patchwork rotation, but it's going to play above its means. And, they took the innings leader for the Orioles last year in Jordan Lyles and added them, and he's going to be their 2-starter this year. But you've got Singer, you have Yarbrough, who we mentioned, you have Lyles, you got a couple other guys in that rotation where maybe they're all average to slightly above average. Yeah, Greinke's the one, but I think they're going to be, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but they're going to be crafty. I think they're going to be pesky. And I think that the Royals are going to see an increase in their win total this year. And I'm not going to say where I have them finishing, but I really like the Royals for this year, and I think they're going to be kind of a toned-down version of last year's Orioles.
Let us know, Royals fans. That's kind of all we have for today. When's the rebuild kind of coming to an end and in the playoff team? Which one of these kind of big four, I guess you could say, the core four of the Royals prospects, do you like for this year? Who's breaking out? Who's going to kind of cement themselves as a leader for years to come for your franchise? Let us know about down below. Make sure you like this video as well. Subscribe for more baseball content. Make sure you check out that full record prediction and season prediction video that we have coming in just about a couple weeks. And we're coming up on the regular season here shortly. So make sure you subscribe for more baseball content. We've been Double Play. I've been Ryan. That's been Jack. And we'll see you guys next time.